What's up, everybody? This is Coach MJ, the coaching connoisseur, and I want to welcome you to our training broadcast for today. As you can see from the title on the screen, we're going to be talking about 5 dangerous phrases that you need to stop using right now. We cannot ever overestimate the power of words to either make or break our success in life, whether it's with our health, whether it's with our finances, whether it's in business, as so many of you who are watching this are interested in, whether it's in your relationships. The words you say have the power to either help you to move forward or to push you further back than where you've already gotten to. And a lot of times there are things that we say that seem pretty benign. They seem actually harmless, just little catchphrases and cliches that we just say on a regular basis when actually they have deep psychological impacts that can be stopping you from experiencing the transformation in your life that you want. And for most of you watching this, it's that you want to launch a high ticket coaching business using your current expertise, creating a 6 or 7 income for yourself, as well as satisfaction with what you are achieving in life, because you will be helping other people to solve major problems that they are struggling with and that you are uniquely positioned to help them to resolve. And so that's what you want. And if you are not careful, the things that you say related to your work, related to your job, related to your abilities, all of those things can actually stop you from getting to where you want to go. So we're going to talk about some of those today. So these are the ones that I think of and I hear the most from people in this space who are wanting to get out of corporate America, who are wanting to create a business that gives you flexibility so that you can travel the world freely, have all the time and all the money that you want so that you can make an impact in the world and in your family and leave a legacy, right? These are some of the phrases I've heard, but in no way am I saying this is all of the dangerous phrases. There's no end to the amount of things you can be saying that could just be a little thing, but if it gets out of hand, it can be sabotaging your success. Mindset is 90% of the game of success. It really is. If you don't get anything else from ever watching me, just know that the things that are going on in here, and not only between your ears, but what's coming out of your mouth, which is a reflection of what's going on in here, is what's going to make the difference. Not the tactics and the marketing hacks and all the stuff that we try to make it about. That's not where it's at. It's right here, the things that you're saying. But like I just mentioned before, remember that your words are a reflection of what you're thinking. So really, in order to fix and stop saying these phrases we're going to be talking about today, you need to fix what's in here, because what comes out of your mouth is just a reflection of that. The first one is something that a lot of people say at the end of the work week, and that is, thank God it's Friday. Or maybe you say, thank goodness it's Friday. TGIF. And you're probably like, Coach MJ, what is wrong with saying that? What is wrong with, getting to the end of the week and being glad for the weekend? The weekend is when you have a couple of days off, when you can relax and not have to go to work and all of this. Well, first of all, there's nothing wrong inherently with looking forward to any part of your life. If you want to look forward to the weekend, that's fine. What happens, though, is the more you say this, the more you train your mind to kind of be on autopilot and just get through the weekend and focus on the weekend, get to Friday so that you can get to the time when you don't have to work. And that's usually a reflection of you being in a space you are not designed to be in. People who are operating in their purpose, operating in their giftedness, never really feel like they're working. Do they sometimes get exhausted? Yes. Do they sometimes need a break? Yes. But the thank God it's Friday mentality, living for the weekend, dreading Mondays, that whole thing right there, that just feeds into it. And it also indicates that you need to be doing something else, especially because TGIF normally comes out of people's mouths every Friday. It's not just thank God it's this Friday, or thank goodness it's this Friday. It's every Friday, because you're kind of vegging out through the week. You're just surviving. You're not thriving. You're not in your giftedness, because here's what's true. Even when you are working very hard, working long hours, when you are doing that in a space that you are designed to do, you don't get exhausted in the same way. A lot of the frustration that has people saying TGIF at the end of the week is based on being misplaced. Maybe when you started that job, that career, it seemed like a good match for you. But right now, you're feeling some dissatisfaction. You're feeling some angst, or you're feeling a need to shift out of that. And that's probably why you're watching this video, right? You want to get out of that space, but not necessarily out of the field in which you work. You just want to be in charge. You want to have your own business as a coach, so you can, write your own ticket. You can decide how you do the work, how flexible it can be, and all those things. But TGIF is usually indicative of some underlying issues that you should not ignore. If you're always thanking goodness and thanking God that it's Friday, you got to ask yourself, why is that? And I know I was living for the weekend for a number of years. I was living for the weekend. I look forward to it like everybody else. And I also was in the wrong place. I don't have to live for the weekends anymore, because even though sometimes I enjoy being off per se, or doing some of the things that I do on the weekend, it's not because I am trying to get away from my business. I love my business and the things that I do, and you can have that too. But you first have to recognize why you're saying TGIF and stop saying it. Even though you're still in your job, stop saying thank God it's Friday. You can be grateful. Not saying don't be grateful, but I'm saying that energy of living for the weekend, no. Each day is a gift, and you need to be maximizing each and every day, Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all the days, so that you can get to the place where all the days are a joy. And even now, you can decide that every day is a joy, even if you're doing some things you don't want to be doing, because you can be working yourself into the next phase of your life and what you do want to be doing. So that's the first one, TGIF. The second phrase we're going to talk about is phrases, and these aren't necessarily direct quotes. If it's anything like this, it's the same thing, okay? I'll try, or I'll give it a shot. This is what you might say in response to somebody asking you to do something, or somebody offering you an opportunity to do something new, something outside your comfort zone, something you're not familiar with. You may have never done it before, and you say, I will try, or give it a shot. And you've probably heard those phrases or those sayings that are like, there's no such thing as trying. You either do or you don't, right? And I used to not understand what that meant. But the more I looked at it, it's like, how do you try to do something? That'd be like saying, I'm gonna get in my car and I'm gonna try to drive to the store. You're either going to get in the car and drive to the store, or you're not. You can't try to drive. And even though this is a fundamental kind of thing, and it's probably like, well, yeah, you can't really try to do anything. You either do it or you don't do it. There's only two options. But I think sometimes it's a way, when we say I'll try, or I'll give it a shot, or maybe those types of things, that's where you're putting doubt in the scenario. And that's often a place where people go to hide when they are unwilling to make a commitment, or unwilling to step out of their comfort zone and commit to something, right? And say, I'm going to do this. You know that when you say, I will do something, it's the same as making a promise. You don't have to say the word, I promise, in order to make a promise. When you say, I will do something, now you're on and you're expected to do that thing. And a lot of times people don't want to make those definitive statements, because you want to be able to back out and not come through. And then you can say, well, I told you I would try. Okay. You need to make definitive statements, make commitments, and let your yay be yay and your nay be nay. What you say you're going to do, follow through on it. What you say you're not going to do, you're not responsible for. But the place of trying is kind of like where you're being in the middle, kind of in a lukewarm space, straddling the fence. I'm not going to say I'm going to do it, but I'm not going to say I don't, because I want to get almost credit for having said I will do this thing. But if I don't follow through, I want to have a back door escape. Why is it that you won't follow through? If there's some reason why you can't do the thing, then just say that you can't. Or if there's a reason why something might stop you from doing it, say, I won't commit to that. But let your yay be yay and your nay be yay. Nay be nay. As a business owner, there's going to be a lot of situations that you're going to be in where you're not going to be able to say, I'll try. We do that in our personal life a lot. And sometimes we do it on our jobs. And that's where it's sabotaging your success, because the same energy that you give to your job is what you're going to give to your business. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about the same amount of time or even the same amount of excitement or enthusiasm only. When I say the energy you give to your job is the energy that you give to your business, you are currently cultivating at your current job the habits that you will take forward into your business. You're not going to all of a sudden become a different type of person, a different type of worker just because you're in charge. And if that would be the case, if you are planning to radically shift how you work when you get your coaching business, you have to ask yourself, is that really in integrity? Your employer has an arrangement with you that you will provide a service in exchange for money. And you want to make sure that you are showing up for your work, somebody else's business, the same way that you're going to show up for yours. First of all, you will develop those habits of following through on commitments, of letting your yes be yes, and being reliable. You're going to take those same habits that's going to be reflected in your business. But you first decide the atmosphere and the energy that you operate in. You need to be authentic and consistent at all times, right? So instead of saying, I'll try, I'll give it a shot, we'll see, that kind of stuff, instead, you need to say, I will do, I am doing such and such, okay? I will, and fill in the blank, whatever the thing is. Either you will or you won't, because in business, there's not a lot of room for wishy-washy and straddling the fence. That's when you miss opportunities. That's when you make a lot more mistakes than is necessary. So saying, I'll try, we'll see, give it a shot, giving yourself a back door to not follow through, we need to stop that, because that is stopping you from moving forward. The next phrase is, I have to. This is an extremely disempowering phrase that you need to stop saying right now. And we say it so much, we don't even think about it. And I don't even think people realize what they're saying when they say it, right? You know, I got to go over here to Kroger to get some food, or I have to go to work tomorrow, or I have to go in here and clean up. You're saying I have to. And what that does is it takes the power away from you to make choices about what you do. It lets some outside force, whatever that is, make you do something. Like you say, I have to go to work. Who's making you go to work? Nobody but you. You don't have to go. You could not go. Now, will there be consequences? Absolutely. But saying I have to do something means you don't have another option. Someone is literally forcing you to do it. And there's very few things in an adult's life, and even in children's lives, that they are literally forced to do. Now, you might be given a strong incentive for doing one thing or another. There may be some serious consequences for doing one thing or another. But to say I have to makes you the victim. To say I have to means I don't have to think for myself. I don't have to choose for myself. Somebody else is choosing that for me. And those kind of phrases, those kinds of disempowering statements stop you from succeeding in life, because if you feel like everything else is acting on you and you don't get to choose the things that you do, then something like starting a business, a coaching business, or really a business of any nature is going to be out of the realm of what you feel like you can do, because nobody's going to force you to start a business. That's something that you have to be proactive about. But if you have stayed in this space of being reactive or being the subject of everything in life happens to me and I have to do this, you're not going to do the big things of stepping into, starting your own business. You're just not. Because that's one thing you're never going to have to do, is start a business. To replace I have to with I get to, or even more powerful, I choose to. First off, I get to says I have a choice. I get to says it is an option for me, and I am opting in. I choose to is an active word. Have to do something, something's acting on you. Choosing to says I realize I have more than one option here, and I am selecting to do this. I get to think for myself, and I select. You can choose to go to work. And really, you do choose to go to work. But that language that you're using right now makes you feel like I got to do this because the bills got to be paid. You don't have to pay your bills. There's consequences if you don't. And I know somebody's out there probably rolling their eyes saying, well, of course I'm going to pay my bills. No, you don't have to pay your bills. You choose to pay your bills, and you have to use that language, because the more you acknowledge that you are choosing things in your life, the more you get to choose things that you don't feel like you have to do. Choosing is a powerful energy that you have to create the habit of doing. You have to choose even the things that you don't want to do, instead of saying, I have to. I've got to do this and I got to do that. You don't got to do anything. You know how they say, you ain't got to do nothing but be black and die. That's kind of true. You always have a choice, and realizing that means that when it comes to the bigger things in life, when it's time to start choosing, can I start my business or is something stopping me? You can choose to say that there's nothing stopping me from starting my business but me. I'm over here sweating. So instead of I have to, it's what I get to do this. It's an opportunity. It's a privilege, or I choose it. I know I have options out here. I could let life happen to me, or I can make life happen. Choosing instead of being the subject of things you have to do is a much more powerful energy. If you don't stop saying I have to, it's going to stifle your success. The next phrase is I'm too blank to do that. And one that goes along with that is using things about you as a reason why you can't do something. I'm too old to do that. I'm a woman. You know, they don't accept that. I'm black. I can't do that. I'm too young to do that. I'm too far away to do that. I'm too broke to do that. I'm too scatterbrained to do that. I'm too disorganized to do that. I'm too mean to do that. Whatever it is. And am I saying that these traits about you are not true? No. The things you're saying might be true. You are black. You are a woman. You might be physically far from some opportunity, physically far away from some opportunity. You might be mean. If you are, you need to work on that. Don't be mean. But whatever it is, it's one thing to say, I am such and such. And sometimes you need to really stop saying that. Stop claiming those labels that are not empowering. But to say that you, because you are that thing and you are too much of that, it's stopping you from doing something else. That's where the disempowerment comes from. To say that I'm too disorganized to own my business, or I'm too lazy, or I'm too, I'm too, whatever the phrase is, whatever the statement is, that means you have stated, I can't do it, because you've already accepted that that trait is true of you, right? And if you're black or you're a woman, you're whatever, you're in a certain city, you're in a certain industry, those things might be true about you. But then you add on to it to say that because I'm those things, I can't do this other thing. I can't start my coaching business because I'm not educated enough. So really, it's some of it is I'm too something or I'm not enough of something, right? That's kind of the flip side of that. I'm too much of this trait or I'm not enough. And so that stops you from having to go find a way to do it because you've already said you can't. How do you know you can't? You've never actually looked into it. You've never actually tried, but you decided that because I am this thing, I'm not enough or I'm too much of this thing. And who told you that? Even if you have tried, you can continue to, well, we already talked about you can't try. Even if you made the effort, let's say that. Even if you made an attempt and it didn't succeed, that does not mean you can't make another attempt. Stop telling yourself that I'm too this, I'm too that to do whatever it is that you want to do. If you want to do it, you're falling apart. If you want to do the thing, stop looking for evidence that you can't do the thing. If you want to be a high ticket coach, earning a 6 or 7 figure income, using the skill set and the knowledge and the experience and the expertise you already have, no new degrees, you don't need no certifications. If you want to do that, don't say, I'm not educated enough. Don't say, nobody will listen to me because I'm a black female. Don't say, I'm too, disorganized to operate a business or whatever that is. And don't say, I'm too broke to get started. And that's the last phrase. That's the fifth dangerous phrase that you need to stop using is, I can't afford that. I don't have enough money. Saying that you're too much of something or not enough of something, that's a cop-out. That's not true because it stops you from being resourceful and creative to find a way. But the big one of this one, I can't afford that, is really a subset of the one we just talked about. And this is the last one. It's a big one. I can't afford that. My sisters, Black people are the biggest consumers in this country as far as spenders of money that goes out and doesn't come back in. We spend all of our money on whatever, on lace fronts, on cruises, on red bottom shoes, on, whatever it is we want, we're buying it. Amazon is coming to the house every other day, UPS, FedEx, and no shade. I love to shop as much as everybody else. But to say you can't afford that, I can't afford to start a business. I can't take out a business loan to start my business because what if it fails, right? That's another one of those things you need to stop focusing on is failure. But you do spend your money on the things you want to spend your money on. This one people get mad, but okay, it doesn't mean it's not true. We have to stop saying I can't afford it and instead say I'll find a way to get what I need. Stop saying I'm too whatever to do it and say, why not me? You can afford anything you want to. There's 8 billion people on this planet almost. The money you need for your business is out there. You may have to do some creative things. You may have to do some outside the box things. You may have to open up your mouth and ask. You may have to get some money out of your 401k. You may have to take out a loan. You may have to get a credit card. But so what? You're talking about starting a business that's going to more than replace anything you could possibly invest in it to get it started. But you're telling yourself, I can't afford it. And guess what? It's not just about your business. Even before you get to the place where it's time to start your business, I can't afford that house. I can't afford that car. And when you state something, that closes the door to opportunity. That closes the door to finding solutions. That closes the door to finding a way. Instead of saying I can't afford it, say this: what can I do to be able to afford it? What can I do to get the money for it? Because guess what? We do that for all the other things that aren't creating a legacy, that aren't creating wealth. When you get married, don't we find a way to get the wedding dress we want if it's an expensive one? When we want that trinket, or we want to go on that trip, or we want to buy that thing, don't we find a way sometimes? But then in other places, we become self-defeating and say, I can't. Don't say I can't afford it. Say, what do I need to do to find a way to do it, a way to be able to afford it? When you say, what can I do to be able to afford it? Now you're saying it's not that I won't be able to do it. It's not a no, it's just a how. And that's a very empowering space. That is an energizing space. That's when creativity can flow. That's when excitement comes in. That's when you're open to resources coming your way. When you say no to it, you don't need to find the resources. And then when you don't have the resources, then that's your proof that it didn't work. No, your proof, you can find proof for whatever belief you have. If you believe you can't afford it and you say that, you're right. If you believe you can afford it, you'll find a way, you're right. Because think about all the times you did find a way when it was important enough to you. So you have to ask yourself, how important is your success? How important is it for you to escape that cubicle prison you're stuck in every day? Get out of corporate America, escape that 9-to-5 grind, and live the life of your dreams, traveling the world freely because you have total freedom of time and money. How important is it to you to have a fulfilling career, but not only career, but a business where you are doing what you love every single day, where you are transforming your clients' lives one by one, in groups, doing it to groups of people all at one time, whatever way, but you're helping them and they're thanking you for making a difference in their life because you stood up and you shared your gift with the world. How important is that to you? Is it just something that you want if it's easy? If it's something that happens with the first try and you don't make any mistakes? Or is it something that you will give your life for? And what I mean by that is your time. What I mean by that is your financial resources, your energy, your effort. Are you willing to do it until you get it right? There were so many times when I didn't get the outcome I wanted in my business. I did not just go running back to a job. I kept after it and kept after it. I continue each and every day to choose my business, to choose this life because it's the life I want to live. And you can live the same life, of having freedom, so you can travel to all those places on your vision board instead of just thinking about them. Or when you do go, you can go first class, and you don't have to just go for 5 to 7 nights. You can go for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it is you want to do, and go in style, go first class, go 5-star all the way. You can live that life. You can go to Dubai, you can go to Greece. You don't have to just live for one trip of a lifetime and that's it. You can travel all the time. Why is travel important? I don't know. Black women, we just love to travel. Every Black woman I ever talked to, travel is at the top of her list of things she wants to do when she creates her freedom. And maybe that's you. And if it is you, I would love to talk to you. I would love to see if I can help you get there. Go to melaniehunter.com/chat and book your free breakthrough call with me. That's all you have to do. And we're going to see what we can do to get you out of these self-defeating habits, these words coming out of your mouth that are a reflection of what's going on in your head. Because we're going to have to turn that around first if we're going to ever get you to that successful space where you are building a coaching business that's leveraged, that's flexible, that helps you to find your ideal clients and work with them every day of your life for between 3, 5, 7, it's even $10,000 per client, because you're helping them to get actual results. But I have to first see, do you have a skill set? You got to be good at what you do, because you have to be able to solve a problem. So we'll look at that. We'll look at what it is you want. What kind of life is it you want to lead? Where is it that you want to go? And what's keeping you stuck and preventing you from getting there? That's the big question. Because it's easy to talk about, I want this and that, and we got the vision boards and the dreaming and all that. But what is stopping you? And are you going to keep letting it stop you? Or are you going to find a way to succeed? And then if we're fit to work together, the day we talk is going to be the first day of a new life for you, because we're going to get you started right away moving forward. If not, I will direct you to what's going to serve you better. But you got to book your call so we can talk first. melaniehunter.com/chat. And that's Melanie with 2 L's, ANIE, hunter.com/chat. Book your call and let's talk. A lot of the self-defeating phrases we've talked about, remember I said at the beginning, it's not just these. Another one could be, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next week when I get ready. I got to get some stuff together. Those are places to hide. Now is your invitation. I've given you my calendar. Go ahead and book your call right now. Put it on your calendar and let's have a conversation. I would love to see us work together to get you the high ticket coaching business of your dreams in whatever your area of giftedness is. And so let's have a conversation and get you started. It's been my pleasure to share with you today. Be sure to go out and check my channel on YouTube for all of my other videos. You can go to my website, melaniehunter.com, to link to my channel to see all the other trainings. But more importantly, get your call book so we can have a conversation and help you to claim your dream in the next few months. I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.